Hi there, it's Peter here again, the guy who hates tomatoes but loves front-end development. Today I want to share with you the tools, software, hardware, microphones, cameras and other tricks that I use when I'm recording my YouTube videos. And that's what you'll find out in the next video. I'll see you next time. Happy coding. Bye. What an unusual start of a video to start with the end. Okay, but today's video is not about the tutorials. Today's is about the making of tutorials. So maybe one day you will decide to make tutorials in whatever area you expert in, and this video might help you with the setup. Okay, so I want to go through the things I'm using to record them, to edit them, and also to talk about the camera setup and the audio, the microphones, because I think that's the most important thing. The most important thing that I think you should invest in once you start doing tutorials or YouTube videos is the microphone. Okay, the camera I've been using for a long time, just the built-in iMac FaceTime camera view, whatever that is, whatever it's called. All my tutorials and the video recording before and after the tutorials was shot just on the default iMac camera, and it was fine. It was fine. People never complain. It was the sound which made it either people watch it through the tutorials or not. Okay, so make sure you invest into the microphone. I'm using two. This one is the Rode SmartLav Plus, and that's what I'm using if I don't want the big mic to be in front of my face. Okay, so if I want to talk on a camera, I usually use this smaller mic and just clip it onto the clothing. And if I'm recording the screen, I'm usually using this big one on a stand. Okay, so this is Audio-Technica 2100 with the pop filter. Okay, pop filter, one important thing, this costs just a few bucks, so it's definitely worth the investment. The mic, I think it was around $100, even less than that, and the stand just a few bucks. You can get something very cheap on eBay. All it needs to do is just to be up so you can still typing on the keyboard. Okay, that's a very important thing, to not to have the mic standing in your way. Okay, you want to talk naturally like you would code normally and have the mic sort of on the side. And as I said, I'm using this when I'm talking on the camera. So all the intros, outros of my tutorials, I'm using just the wall behind me as the background, and the microphone is very handy for that as well. Okay, so it works by default with the iPhones, and once you buy a little extension or converter, you can use it for DSLR as well. So at the moment I haven't invested in a bigger mic for the DSLR, the one which sits on top of it. These two are doing an amazing job for me. Once you go into more vlogging style of videos, you might need to upgrade to DSLR or some compact point and shoot. Even the cheap point and shoot cameras these days, they have very good video capabilities. Okay, perfectly fine for YouTube video. I think where you would struggle is the audio. Okay, the audio is where you would probably struggle, so make sure that you don't film where it's very noisy or windy, because it will just blow onto the mic and it will have this sound. People won't stay tuned for the end of the videos. Okay, so make sure you've got a crisp sound and people will stick around. By hopefully you sticking around with me. How many minutes? Might be 3-4 minutes already, so glad you sticking around. Might be the mic, might be the camera, I don't know. Might be the content. What I'm using for recording the screen, I'm using ScreenFlow, which just lets you select the area of the screen. One press button starts recording, press another button and it stops recording. Very easy. Then I'll crop it into the area I want to. I usually set up the screen in a way that all my videos which I'm talking about, they stick into the middle of the screen, and that's where I crop the video for. Okay, so this snapping into the middle helps me with saving time. I don't want to resize windows all the time. I want to make it consistent, so I use this Better Snap Tool application for Mac, just few bucks, and lets you snap into place all your windows or the windows you want to record. Okay, usually I snap in the Sublime Text, the browser window, and a couple other things. Photoshop, sometimes I resize to it because that doesn't work with the automatic snapping. But once I've got these apps in the middle of the screen, I can put notes on the side and hide the desktop icons. So I usually hide the desktop icons so they don't distract me. So I've got just a little notes on the side next to the video. I'm recording the full screen and then I'm cropping it, okay, for the 1080 by 720 and that's the resolution I'm always exporting it from ScreenFlow. I used to use ScreenFlow until recently, and it works perfectly fine, but because I started doing more videos like this on the DSLR, some of the footage becomes quite big files. ScreenFlow doesn't really work well with that. Okay, so I switched into the Adobe Premiere and playing with After Effects as well, just to add some couple animations in and out. If you're looking for a simple tool to start your tutorials, ScreenFlow is perfectly fine. Okay, then do the intro outro with the built-in camera on your Mac, or if you've got a webcam, even better. I've also started recently using the EOS Canon application. So if you're using Canon, there is a little app you can download for your computer, and that lets you select the focus, zoom and exposure and all these settings into that application instead of fiddling with the camera. I can just set it up on the screen and I can see exactly where it's focusing, and that's been great help. So this is probably the second video I'm using it, and I can see already how much time it saves me. I've also got the camera connected to the screen, to the iMac with the USB cable, so the footage goes straight to the computer. I don't need to take the card, plug it in, copy the audio from the iPhone. So it just goes one footage into the camera and I'm ready for editing. Very big time saver. And that's all we want, right? Save time and do some great content. So the first thing I'm trying to always record is the middle part of the tutorial, okay? The most important part. That's why you coming and watch this tutorial or breakdown or content of the video. After I've got that, I'll write little notes and record the intro and the outro for it. Okay, so I don't try to reconfigure my office and set up for using the white background for the intros and outros. I first do the middle bit, so sitting in front of the screen like now, recording the 5-6 minutes videos, and record at least 3 or 4, and then set up the camera in a different angle so I can use the white background where I'm in front of the camera just introducing what you will learn in the tutorial, and also the ending as well. Okay, for that I've got little notes on a little board, so I'll show you a little board here. Just print A4 page. I don't usually read it. Okay, I don't read it word by word. If it comes naturally in different words, I don't really care, as long as I've said what I wanted to say. Okay, so I've got usually 2 or 3 points on here standing in front of me. Big help as well. By the way, this is why, what and how I try to stay focused on the content on my blog. So I've got why I'm doing it. I've got a couple quotes from you. I've got Norman here. I've got Dwayne, Michael. Okay, a few guys who send me some nice comments, and that's what keeps me going. Okay, in the what, I've got the goals for this year. Couple things just to remind me why and how I want to do it. Okay, so this is another thing which sits on my desk and just keeps me going. Okay, so I think that wraps it up. I'll cut it down again. As I said, I'll cut it up, chop it up, export it and send it to YouTube so you can watch it. If you've got any questions regarding the how to create good tutorials for YouTube, let me know in the comments. Happy to answer if I forgot anything about the setup. But yeah, currently, just to wrap it up, I'm using the Canon EOS 70D to record videos like this and the intros and outros for my videos. I'm using ScreenFlow for the tutorials themselves, for the main content, for the meat of the tutorials. And then I'm using Premiere to cut it up later on. Using 2 mics, Rode SmartLav Plus, Audio Technica, it's ATR 2100 and little cheap pop filter on top of it. That's all you need to create a good content, okay? I'll be back next week with some deconstruction or tutorial. If you've got any questions regarding the how to create a good YouTube tutorials, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed stuff like this, and I'll see you next week. Happy coding, bye. When I create YouTube videos, and I forgot to put the mic on. Fantastic.